So I'm taking a short test drive in the RZR XP Pro. At my dealership, Pioneer Motorsports, and I'm really interested in buying a sports side-by-side. So I'm going to compare today the Maverick X3 DS, which is a 64-inch wide wheelbase Maverick. It's an RR, so it has 195 horsepower. New for this year, the horsepower, 195 horsepower. I'm currently leaning towards the Polaris RZR XP Pro. The power is for real in this machine. I believe it has 181 horsepower. I've just taken it up to 35-40 miles an hour in this parking lot. There's not a lot of room, and I unintentionally broke the rear wheels loose. The Carnivore 30-inch tires, probably low on tire pressure, and it easily broke the tires loose to my surprise, something I didn't want to do on a brand new machine. Love some of the features on this machine. The seats obviously move forward and back, but they can unbolt or loosen bolts on the machine and actually tilt the seat to recline it or stand it up straighter. This is probably in the midway section. The seat's all the way back, and it's the midway section on the seat, and I really is extremely comfortable. The view I can see from my position leaning over my left front tire. Obviously I can't see the right, but I can see a little bit of the left rear tire, the driver's side rear tire. Steering is awesome with a small steering wheel. I think that's really impressive that it also tilts and then pull it out and telescopes. It's super, a little tough to pull out. That's an excellent feature. All side-by-side should have a telescoping. Is this telescoping wheel just about amazing? Tilt and telescope. I'm sorry, telescope and tilt. Wow, that is really nice. Steering wheel. Never had the touch screen and a side-by-side. That's something that I've watched some channels that are driving Turbo S's, which have the ride command in them. And let's turn it on. So we're on our instrument cluster. That's a gauge package. That's a navigation system. Phone I don't have hooked up. Here's your setting. I put it in auto. It wasn't night. I could barely read the screen. I can probably dim it down a little bit. Music. Getting a radio station now. So my first side-by-side with a stereo, volume controls here. Pretty neat. Controls, I'm sure notifications are probably for your phone if someone's texting you. Add a device, it's use import export. So you can, it looks like you can save your tracks that you've ridden at a certain place, copy to or from ride command, copy to from USB port. There is connectivity up in this upper compartment there. Let's go back to the gauge. You can toggle through. I'm in sport mode for the wheel package. Let's look at this. Let's look at the active track. So this is the setting for the tires, the firmness. I can go up to firm, which is 6. Go down to sport, which is 2. Comfort, which is 0. But when I push, they call that the old crap button. When I push that button on the steering wheel, it will firm up all 4 corners of the shocks. I wish some of you would comment that have ride command on how it holds up being exposed to dirt on the trail. I'm always sensitive. I actually leave the plastic film on my vehicle touch screens, so I'm always sensitive that even my fingers inside my truck or car are going to damage or scratch the screen. I don't know how I would wind up doing this, how this would hold up in a side-by-side. The instrument cluster is nothing short of amazing. Polaris has just come so far. We'll scroll through this on the mode button. RPMs up top, engine hours, my temperature on the machine, miles per hour, back to RPMs. That's a pretty good idle, 1250 RPMs. Let's scroll down here. Volts, trip 1, trip 2, odometer, temperature again. Down here we have park. We have the drive, the switch, the all-wheel drive over here. So now I'm in gear, it shows up that the all-wheel drive is working on it. We'll take it out of all-wheel drive. I don't want to run it in all-wheel drive. That's off. Light switches over here. It has LED running lights. We'll look at that when I get out of the machine. Love the storage. There's a storage compartment up here on the dashboard. There's another storage compartment over here. The glove box, another in the armrest with a 12-volt plug inside the armrest. Actually, my arm actually will hit that armrest. I'm surprised. Another 12-volt plug, and the center console with storage up here. Really nice. Rockford Fosgate speakers. I guess you probably have to purchase more speakers to go around the back. This is impressive, very solid. Built-in 4-part harness, which I always hated. I love this, that I can lean forward when I'm not riding to reach something. That's a very big deal. I gotta pause this. I want you to see something. Look at the firewall behind the passenger seat and the driver's seat. That firewall, rear firewall, is removable with, I believe, 4 to 6 knobs, spring-loaded knobs that you turn, and that firewall panel comes out so you can service the engine. Later on, you'll see that the rear tub, the cargo area, the entire tub comes out to service the engine. This, to me, for cleaning and servicing, is an awesome, awesome feature. Over here we have miles per hour, probably an 85 mile an hour machine, and then another analog tack here. Another big improvement. On the steering wheel, volume control buttons, pause, play for your stereo. I'm sure I can play Bluetooth off that. This is the buttons that are used for the suspension settings. I'm gonna put it on firm. See how that's the old oh boy button. When you panic, you hit that, and it goes to suspension gets the firmest setting. It will also do that when I'm driving if I'm tipping. I'll do another video of that. I'm gonna put this in park. I'm gonna shut it off. Let's do a walk around. Quick interjection. For big guys, this is important. The ease of getting in and out of the machine. You know I'm not a small person, though I've lost 70 pounds. I still need to lose more weight. I'm tall, I'm big in the shoulders, and let's just watch me get out of this machine to see how easy it is to get out. This machine is high off the ground. It does have a lot of ground clearance. It's a big step up to get in it. It has 14.5 inches of ground clearance, and I think this is one time Polaris didn't overrate that. It's a true 14, and I've got to be 14.5 inches of ground clearance. It's not the easiest machine to get in and out of. The doors, I mean, seem a little flimsy. I would definitely get the filler piece to go in here. I wish there was a filler piece to go in there. Since I purchased the Defender Limited with a full cab, enclosing a sports side-by-side has become very important to me, and I was actually leaning towards the Maverick side-by-side because they had a better system, better accessories to enclose the cockpit. This was done in 2020. 2021, now Polaris has an inner door liner that encloses this, both the front and rear door opening on both sides, and they also have door canvas material to enclose the upper portion of the door to the roll bar. They've had windshields, and now they have an enclosure unit, plastic, clear plastic, for the rear area of the roll bar, and a heater option for this unit. So now you can fully enclose the RZR Pro. You can fully enclose it and actually get a heater for it. And yes, I like to have heat. That's not so important. It keeps the interior of the machine and the occupants clean, and that is becoming more and more important to me the older I get. Hats off to Polaris to coming out with great accessories in 2021 to enclose this beautiful vehicle. Can-Am does that very well for winter riding, and my goal is to eventually enclose this, and I really don't want to buy Pro Armor doors to do that. So you notice there's the stubble, the hairs on the front tires, and on the rear tires it kind of got burned off the center. Didn't mean to do that. It looks like one tire is good and the other tire isn't. Suspension, there's 22 inches of travel in the rear of the machine. Huge shocks. I think they're 2.5 Fox shocks, and remember, they are adjustable. There's no valves to turn on these. It's all done electronically. Wow, pretty cool intake manifold. Is that a chunk of metal there? Wow, really neat. Heavy duty sway bar. Intakes are massive and they're high on the machine. This rear compartment storage tray with 4 screws comes out of the machine. Wow, look at this clutch cover. Very impressive clutch cover. I believe these screws stay on the clutch cover when you remove it, so if you have to change a belt in the field, those are there. Wow. This is quality engineering. Look at the size of this stuff. Clutch air intake. These shocks are huge. carnivores. It seems everyone's getting carnivores. 14-inch rims that I think are exclusive to the Polaris hub. 30-inch carnivore tires, which seem to be the hot tire on the market now. Don't know how they'll perform in the muddy conditions we ride in. Sway bar front and back. 20 inches of travel in the front end of the machine. Awesome LED lights. I'll get you a view of that. Radio antenna. Just a great machine. Let's take the Maverick X3 for a ride, and then I'm going to take this. The Maverick X3 demo ride will be in a separate video. The two would just be too long, and I get embarrassed when they go long. So we'll do that in another, I'll show that, upload it in another video that will come out soon. And believe me, that the Maverick is equally as impressive, especially the engine and transmission. So that video, that demo ride will be released separately. The RZR back out because I'm leaning towards the RZR. Pretty nice LED accent lights. Rear backup camera. The front camera is an option. Boy, I love that. I love that. That's almost wins me over right there. So you can see that it's changing. What I'm trying to demonstrate is, as I turn the steering wheel abruptly, the dynamic active suspension will stiffen the shocks on the outside of the turns almost instantly to keep the vehicle flat. And I believe the fluid in the shocks has metallics in it, and a computer charges this fluid with electricity, thickening the fluid, making it transfer through the valve slower because it's thicker, and thus stiffens the shocks. I believe this is how it works in automobiles. I could be completely wrong. You're welcome to comment and criticize me, but that's what I'm thinking at this moment. Not perfect. It works however it works. If I'm wrong, it works extremely well, and I'll zoom in on the touch screen. Okay, on the display it shows 4 tires you can see in the center of the touch screen, and the shocks on the left side, the tires are green, the shock setting is at 6. On the right side, where the tires are yellow turning to red, the shock setting is at 8. It's stiffening the shocks on the right side, the outside of the turn, automatically, dynamic active suspension, to keep the vehicle level and keep it from tipping over. And just amazing. Amazing. These vehicles have come so far. Pretty neat that it does that automatically to keep the... And then dragging this other one. But I have plenty of headroom. People cut down these roll cages. I like it. I got plenty of headroom. The cockpit. Huge radiator up front. They say they've reworked the front diff. Interesting. No grease fittings on the front suspension or the sway bar. Well, I don't want to put it back, but I have to put it back. Love the car-like interior. Easier for me to get in. As I'm editing this video, I'm thinking, man, I should have bought this vehicle. It is a nice ride. I was hesitant on the white color. Now this was in March, right when COVID hit and they shut down New York State. And I was worried about the economy and my business, and I hesitated on purchasing this vehicle. Also wasn't sure of the color. Man, I think this was the right color, especially for you viewers. It shows up extremely well on video. Although the Maverick in black and yellow does also, I did not want to turn this vehicle in. I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope you're learning, as I did, more about this machine. Fine machine by Polaris. I'll be quiet. Let you enjoy the machine. I started off-road riding in Polaris, 2 Rangers, had a Can-Am Maverick for a short period of time, and then had 3 RZRs, Polaris RZRs, and then even a Turbo RZR, and then moved on to Polaris ATVs. This is like coming home. Polaris was my brand prior to switching to Can-Am, and I want to say, since I've left the brand, the engineers and people manufacturing this machine have done an outstanding job. As I say on my channel, hats off. Love the machine. You did a great job. A lot of thought went into it. I know they're going to be successful with it. I will post a review of the Maverick. Again, quality on the Maverick machine in the engine and transmission. I may look at a Honda Talon. We'll see what happens, which one I purchase. I want to thank Pioneer Motorsports for letting me demo these machines. They're my dealer, and hopefully I'll be purchasing one in the future. Rangers, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you consider subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, share the video and like it. Please, this is an election year. Let's respect each other's opinion and be understanding and show some empathy. As always, I'm appreciative that you're tuned into the channel, and get out and ride the great outdoors. Hope you love it as much as I do, and I hope to see you on the trail. Thank you and God bless. Thank you for tuning into this Victory Series video.